Skipidi Toilet 70, partea a doua, tocmai ce a apărut ieri, așa că salutare fraților și bine v-am găsit la o nouă reacție la Skipidi Toilet. Ei bine, s-a lansat partea a doua din episodul 70 și chiar a venit mult mai repede decât mă așteptam, ceea ce e forță, chiar sunt curios ce o să se întâmple în episodul de astăzi. Știind că data trecută am rămas în liftul acesta și deasupra se auzea ceva de parcă ceva ar fi spart liftul, dar nu știm ce se întâmple, așa că dacă vă place acest episod, nu uitați să dați și voi un like, subscribe, să ne strângeți și noi 1000 de abonați pe acest canal și o mare parte dintre voi care urmăriți clipurile nu sunteți abonați, deci ar trebui să vă abonați pentru că pierdeți foarte multe lucruri și nu uitați că în descriere aveți serverul meu de Discord unde mai vorbim, vă mai anunț când postez episoade, așa. Hai să vedem. Deci vedeți că suntem aici în lift. Și se tot aude zgomote ciudate. Uite că s-a luat curentul. Asta am văzut-o și în partea anterioară. Uitați și fantoma cameramanului acolo. Și de aici se aude ceva ciudat. Ia să vedem. Oh my god. Oh! Ok. Nu mă așteptam la asta. Am crezut că vine o toaletă, ceva, dar aparent era doar un cameraman. Ok. Îmi retrag cuvintele, e o toaletă. Într-adevăr. Mamă! Bro, cameramanul ăla avea o bombă cu gaz. Oh my god! Deci ăla a avut săracul o bombă cu gaz și l-a aruncat acolo ca să oară pe ăștia. Mamă! Asta nu e bine. Nu! Mamă, ăla s-a sacrificat. I-a avut șarma ăștia. Ia! O să duce sus. Ok. Asta se poate cățăra singur. Deci suntem din nou din perspectiva plumber cameramanului cu desfundătoare în spate, că aparent așa se spune plumber, nu plunger, cum credeam eu. Dar unde e? Ia. Nu pot să cred că a făcut asta. Bro, nu a vrut să-l ajute, bă, ce nenorocit. Ești nebun. Și acolo. Sunt uși. Opa, patrulează ăștia. Și-a activat Night Vision, nu? Ok, deci toaletele practic nu i-a văzut pe ăștia. Încă au și ei lanterne, deci e foarte turin pe aici. Opa, vine ăla. Asta nu e bine. Ok. Fugiți. Ok, ăla deschide ușa cu device-ul lui. Ok. Dar voi vedeți cât de mare este bunkerul ăsta? Oh my god. Ok. Mamă, ce e locul ăsta? Ok, ăsta pare a fi un laborator. Ia. Opa. Uite, e scientist-ul și toaleta aia astro, care a văzut-o în partea anterioară. Ok, nu înțeleg. Pe ziarul ăsta scrie în limba skibidoneză și abar nu am ce scrie. Bă, skibidi dop, yes, way. Nu înțeleg ce scrie aici. Dar nu înțeleg, dar ce face referință chestia asta? Că vedem pe scientist și toaleta astro. Și am mai văzut o chestie pe perete acolo. Uite, vedeți? Uite, e creatorul, voi vedeți? Uite, e creatorul și alți oameni. Alpha Hits Lab. Get new administration. Asta era înainte. Bă, alea sunt fețe care le-au toaletele acum. Bă, toaletele cred că erau... de-știa... Uite... Scientiști. Cel puțin ăștia de aici, uite. Convert sponsored underground laboratory are a new inter details and result of the... Mamă, e foarte șters scrisul și nu prea văd. Ia. Oh, nu! Nu! Oh my god! Ăsta de unde a mai apărut? Ăsta de unde a mai apărut și are și televizor. Asta nu e bine. Nu! Nu! Mamă, era să pune aia, așa. Perfect. Bro, nu, ăla, mă. Chiar dacă era nenorocit că nu l-a sarat pe ăsta, n-ar trebui să mor, că e destul de puternic, sigur. Mamă, i-a sparte cranul, ok. Bă, hai că totuși s-a ocupat de el. Ceea ce e bine, s-a ocupat de el. Da, ăsta... Bro, ăsta, Lucky Cameraman, bă, de data asta n-a mai fost norocos. Asta e device-ul ăla? Nu cred că e bine. Ia, căști. Ok. Asta o să fie de folos. Jetpack, ok. Ia, uite, deschide ușa cu device-ul. Și acum a mai rămas doar ăștia doi, Dark Speakerman și Plumber Cameraman. Ăștia doi sunt siguri care au rămas. Bă, deci, după atâtea episoade, Lucky Cameraman a murit, mă, n-a mai fost norocos. Că era din primele episoade. O să zbor din nou. Bro, și ăsta a fost episodul. Wow, chiar foarte interesant. Chiar sunt curios ce scrie pe posterul ăla, dar o să vedem imediat. Iar acum, fraților, suntem la episodul cu secrete, teorii și analize, bineînțeles, la băiatul nostru, Eli, cameraman. Chiar sunt curios ce era cu posterul ăla. Cred că ne explică ceva despre toalete sau cum s-a format, habar nu am. Dar o să vedem, hai să vedem.
Hello everyone, Elite Cameraman here. Episode 70 part 2 just dropped. And I'm gonna be honest, I really wasn't expecting an episode like this with so much new info. And crazy info at that. As I guessed in my earlier episodes, I guess we really got a glimpse of the origin of the Skipidi toilets, and it truly was shocking.
Deci am ghicit, o să fie povestea toată Skipidi.
Not only that, but we got reveals on some other crazy stuff too. Even though, as Boom revealed a couple days ago, there wasn't much action this episode, the amount of reveals was crazy. And there is so much to talk about, so I'm gonna stop yapping and start analyzing the second you like this video and subscribe. Anyways, here we go. This episode directly started with the ending of episode 70 part 1.
Deci, episodul începe cu sfârșitul episodului 70, partea 1.
And actually had the ghost cameraman that we saw in the last episode, which
da, cameramanul fantomă care apare acolo în stânga.
makes me wonder if they were a rendering mistake, or if there are actually ghost cameramen, since nothing has been confirmed still. But
Deci asta fantoma cameramanului nu a fost confirmat. N-a fost nimic confirmat.
I'll assume that they weren't there for now, since there is no way to know if they were actually there. After this, we started hearing the destruction sounds more and more.
Da, păi e sunetul ăsta că se distruge acolo sus.
Until a hole opened up in the ceiling. We were met by a cameraman, but sadly this blood has been killed.
Bă, nu am văzut că avea sânge, chiar n-am văzut.
And is being used as a trap now. This is kind of
Era folosit ca pe o capcană.
terrifying, to be honest, because the toilets are literally using dead bodies as decoys now. And with
I-a folosit corpul ca să-i omoare pe ăștia, practic.
all the bodies they gathered until now, if they can create some tech, which I think is most likely, they might be able to make cameraman decoy robots or something similar to make crazier traps.
Uite, i-a pus acolo bomba în spate.
After the bomb on the dead cameraman's back explodes, we can see that it had acid inside it because green smokes come out of it.
Da, a explodat într-un acid ăsta cu fumul ăsta verde.
And the toilet that threw it literally has a whole acid tank behind him, so it makes sense that he uses acid weapons. But when he saw that it didn't really work, he instantly jumped down, and from the second he jumped down, I think it was safe to say that he himself is a decoy and is a bomb because he had the same bombs the dead cameraman had on his back attached to his back as well. But instead of one, there are two with a whole tank. He instantly stabs one of the camera...
Are două tankuri din aia în spate, pe acolo, vedeți, alea gri. Și mai are butoiul ăla care are
And the second he jumps down, but it looks like the stun guns kind of work on him to some extent.
Deci i-a dat cu cameramanul, i-a dat cu arma asta care dă stun la toalete.
Kind of because he was able to rotate himself, but not really make any other movements. And the dark speaker man instantly shoots his eyes with knives, but the second this happens, this toilet suddenly starts his bomb sequence. We don't have to worry, though, because this brave soldier who was just stabbed has not given up yet. And for the sake of his squad's survival, he pulls the toilet with him
S-a sacrificat ca să-i salveze pe ăștia. Bă, foarte generos din partea lui, pe bune, un rest in peace pentru el.
down to the hole before he explodes, saving everyone. And when I say save everyone, I meant everyone, because that goddamn explosion was so bright, it was shinier than Scientist Toilet's bald head. You, brother, you truly are a real hero. We need more
Pe bune, că e un adevărat erou.
cameramen like you in the Alliance. You really don't have to worry because we'll never forget the great deeds you have done for the sake of the Alliance. Subscribe to pay your respects to our brave hero.
Exact, un subscribe pentru curajul pe care l-a avut. Așa să faceți și voi.
After this explosion, Plunger Cameraman decides to take one of the weapons off the ground. And while they are all thinking...
Ăsta... Plânge cameraman, deci nu ți-e plabă cum se... Ori plabă, ori plagea, habar nu am. Ia arma asta de pe jos.
About what just happened and what to do, the elevator starts shaking as if it's going to fall down.
Nu, se tubecea cu liftul și începe să se cutremure.
And they instantly start moving, starting with Dark Speakerman flying the two cameramen to the higher floor with his jetpack.
Dark Speakerman ia pe cameramanii ăia doi și zboară sus cu ei.
But our plunger cameraman with the Giga Chad mindset literally jumps on the wall and stabs his new spiky hands on the wall to climb the wall.
Țepii aia care i-are în pomni, că i-am văzut într-un episod.
And when he stops to look down for a second, the Dark Speakerman comes to help, which was a leaked frame that we saw a couple days ago. Blood literally slapped Dark Speakerman's...
Stai că eu de fapt m-am înșelat. N-a vrut ăsta să-l ajute. Ăla de fapt chiar a vrut să ajute, dar n-a vrut ăsta. Mă întreb de ce. Cred că e tot supărat pe el pentru că nu i-a vrut să-i salveze pe cameramanii ăia.
Hand because of what happened a couple episodes back.
Exact.
If you guys don't remember in episode 69, part 1, Dark Speakerman had to make...
Da, și amintește că nu i-a lăsat pe ăștia să plece și e încă supărat pe chestia asta, exact cum ziceam.
Our choice and close off the door on some of the cameraman to save the rest of the squad from the Michael Jackson toilet. And because of this, Plunger Cameraman was so mad at him. It looks like things between haven't cooled down a single bit, even though it's an extreme situation. And if I'm honest, Plunger Cameraman probably feels a lot more angry because it was a speakerman who closed down the door on cameraman.
Da, că probabil Plunger Cameraman e nervos pe Dark Speaker pentru că le-a închis ușa la cameramanii aia că nu i-a lăsat să vină. Acum, cel mai probabil, dacă i-ar fi lăsat să intre, ar fi intrat și toaleta Michael Jackson. Nu cred că ar fi avut de ales până la urmă.
If one of the cameramen closed the door, he probably would have let it go a lot more easily. After getting up to the floor, they look at Lucky Cameraman, and he shows the way to go after checking it from his tablet. But if you look at Dark Speakerman in this scene, you'll see that he really does look sad after getting rejected by the Plunger Cameraman. It really must feel bad for him to be seen as the bad guy, even though he was just trying to protect the others and his best bro being mad at him because in episode 66, they had the craziest dab. But now that friendship is on the verge of collapsing. Needing to deal with his feelings in an intense situation like this must be a really huge toll on him, but blood will pull through. After this scene, we see the Plunger Cameraman taking out his plunger, and everyone starts moving.
Ăsta, Plunger Cameraman scoate asta, cu țepi, bă, arma asta e destul de tare asta cu țepi.
But they instantly start seeing huge
Și
toilets
sunt,
patrolling
merge
around the area
să
trying to find
cerceteze.
the squad, so they close their
Să
flashlights and
patruleze
actually
zona.
turn on their night visions.
Dar sunt toalete și toate astea care patrulează cu lanternele pe cap și ăștia își activează night vision-ul.
This is the first time we are seeing this, and not gonna lie, it was kind of cool to see that. This was a feature on their camera, but sadly the electricity comes back right when they were
Dar din nefericire s-a pornit electricitatea și s-a făcut lumină.
next to one of the doors, and one of the toilets see them trying to sneak in and start
Și toaleta asta care merge în care
starts
început să
preparing an
atace.
attack. But Lucky
Exact.
Cameraman starts opening the doors with his remote control,
Dar
and on the
Lucky-
right side we can actually see a
A-
text that says
a deschis
Test
ușa
Lab
Lucky Cameraman.
C-33/A. And
Și asta. Test lab, deci e un laborator de ăsta care se făcea teste. Test lab C33/A and went.
I went to rewatch episode 33 to see if it was an Easter egg of some sorts, but there wasn't much to it
What?
since it
În
was
episodul 3 știi un easter egg despre asta? What?
the episode where
Unde?
G-Man Toilet destroyed the YouTube HQ.
Ok, deci când G-Man a distrus logo-ul de la YouTube,
If you think there is a hidden meaning behind it, let me know.
e ceva ascuns.
After
ia.
running through the hallway, Lucky Cameraman closes down all the doors, and we actually see the door we saw on the first merch store leaked 2 days ago.
Lucky Cameraman.
And as we guessed, this really was a very special room because the stuff that were revealed to us
Ce că a ghicit ăsta că era o cameră specială.
still blows my mind. After entering the room, the plunger cameraman looks around for a
Intră în
second,
cameră, se
and we can
uită
see
în jur
some
pentru
many
o
stuff. It's
secundă.
crazy. This place is like a collector's room where he hides his precious toys.
Collector's Room, în care se colecționau chestii ce mai
And there
parte.
is anything you can think of, but before we talk about these, did you notice that the mouthless toilet actually could be seen right when they enter the room? Plunger cameraman actually saw the mouthless toilet peeking through one of the containers right before he
Și ce contain? Ia, picking. Oh my god, în spatea containerului e o toaletă, voi
hid
vedeți?
behind to wait for the perfect moment, which is
Oh
a
my
creep.
god, deci de acolo a apărut toaleta aia. Deci a așteptat momentul perfect ca să iasă și să-i atace pe ăștia. Bro, eu chiar nu înțelegeam de unde apăruse. Mamă, era ascunse după containere, după containerul ăla. Oh my god.
Little detail that you might have missed.
O
The
să
first two
cred.
things we see are the two weapons inside the window case.
Vede două chestii, două arme înăuntru la chestiile astea din sticlă.
Which are not clear in this frame, but later we can see that one of them is a knife that speakermen use, and the other is a spear. And I'm going to be
Deci un
honest,
cuțit care folosește și Darth Speakerman și o suliță.
if that spear belonged to anyone, I don't remember. I don't remember seeing it ever. This also might mean that there is someone out there that uses spears as his or her weapon, which might be a foreshadow in itself. The next thing we see is one of the octopus arms. I may be wrong, but I first
Și mai
remember
avem aceste gheare de caracatiță. Voi vedeți că pe perete e un cuțit gigantic?
seeing them in episode 44, where the Titan TV man fought against a toilet with these arms. The next X is a huge knife, which I assume Titan Speaker Man.
Nu știu dacă seamănă neapărat. Aha, uite, huge. Uite, un cuțit mare. Care seamănă cu un Titan Speaker.
Used to have.
care
I don't
are
remember
și
him losing a
Titan
knife.
Speakerman la el,
In episode
ok.
65 and 67, we saw
Uite,
Titan
ăla.
Speakerman's knives, but I don't know if it was
What?
exactly like this. And for this to be here, I feel like it has been here for a while. Next thing we see is the workbench on the left. And it's
Deci
actually
avem un workbench. Ok.
the same workbench we saw in episode 16 a long time
Care a
ago,
fost văzut
when
în
the cameraman
60?
infiltrated the first ever Skipidi
What? Bro, chestiile astea sunt din câte episoade sunt unele chestii.
lab ever and after rewatching
Yeah.
that episode and seeing the picture on the wall and connecting the dots with episode 68 part 2. The lore actually blew my mind, but I'll get into that in a second when we start talking about the big reveal in today's episode. The next thing we see is one of the cameras from the spider cameras from earlier episodes.
Uite, ai tureta aia care zbura în prime episoade, mai ți aminte de ea?
Like episode 22,
Uite,
when they were
sunt toți
fighting
uitele
G-Man
alea care
toilet.
trage,
Next to it
vedeți?
are
Alea
probably
sunt.
the legs of it,
Uite
and right
câte
next to that
chestii
is
sunt
one of the
aici.
jetpacks from the Titans. But the most shocking thing they have is on the top, which is the actual arm of Titan Cameraman from episode 20, when he lost
Ia. Arma lui Titan Cameraman din episodul 20
his arm for the first time. It's crazy that the toilet salvaged that. This really shows the dedication they have to improve, because they probably have been using all these materials to reverse engineer it and make it better to use it themselves for upgrades.
Deci chiar asta e o zonă în care se colecționau chestii de a fiecare.
Under the arm, there is something that looks like a core of some sorts, but I got no idea what it is. And next to it is one of the machines from episode 16 once again.
Următoarea mașină este din episodul 16.
So next to that is a huge speaker, which might be one of
Boxa gigantică, știți, alea care zburau.
Titan Speakerman's old speakers. And lastly, there is a pair of sunglasses on a
Nu e aia care zbura practic, e boxa mare care era pe Titan Speaker, știți că avea niște boxe pe umeri, de-astea mari, una în stânga și una în dreapta. Asta e una dintre ele.
But even though this
Cred că
whole
cea
room
din
made us feel nostalgic,
dreapta lui.
the craziness starts at this moment. Instantly, when Plunger Cameraman turns to his right, we see something on
Instant plânge cameraman și întoarce privirea la ceva.
the wall. But first, Plunger Cameraman moves to the table and he sees a clipboard that has some Skipidi writing on it and two toilets, one being the scientist toilet
Cu două toilet, scientistul și astro
and the
toilet.
other being one of the astro toilets. We will never know what's written on here since it's in Skipidi language.
Nu știm ce scrie aici pentru că scrie în limba Skipidi toaletelor.
But the one common thing in this image is the red eyes,
Dar o imagine comună este ochii roșii a scientistului. Dacă i avea în luptă când s-au dat cu Speakerman și Titan Cameraman.
scientist toilet and the astro toilets have.
Și astro toilet.
And I don't know why they are in the same clipboard here, but it does seem like they are being compared to one another. Or it might be because they both have red eyes. I'm not sure, but there is a chance that the red eyes entail something important. Also,
Deci este o șansă ca ochii roșii să semnifice ceva important în spate.
behind the scientist toilet,
În
there seems
spatele scientist, toate
to be some
scientist.
sort of a logo, but it's not clear at all. Only thing I know is that he probably will be losing his head next episode if it continues like this. What happened right after this moment will be remembered as the biggest reveal of Skibidi Toilet ever, because the next frame we saw has revealed more in just a few seconds than the entire 70-episode series have revealed so far. Plunger Cameraman looks at a picture on the wall.
Plânge cameraman se uită la pictura aceasta.
It's like a news snippet, and it says, Alpha Hills Labs gets new
Alpha Hills Lab gets new administration.
administrator.
Administrator.
Government-sponsored underground laboratory assigned a new administrator. Details
Este o administrare.
and reason for the deal remain in secrecy. February 7th, 1979.
Din ce a rămas secret din februarie 7, 1979. Ok.
Before we talk about the picture itself. The date might either be February 7th or July 2nd, depending on which dating structure Dafuk is using, but we are going to go with February 7th because, weirdly enough, if you go to the first ever Skibidi toilet video and check the upload.
Oh my god! Bro, deci data care scrie pe posterul ăla este data în care a început animațiile. E data în care a apărut primul episod. Uitați, februarie 7, dar aici, uite, scrie februarie 7, dar anul scrie 2023. Mamă, ok. Arată, uite, vedeți când a fost uploadat primul video. Oh my god, ce s-a făcut?
It says February 7th, This probably
Dată care spune februarie 7, probabil
is an Easter
este
egg trying to say this
un Easter egg care încearcă să spună
is when it all started, which means the man we see
asta e tot începutul.
in this image, the new administrator, who is the secret agent we know of, is probably
Sunt agenții secret, cel mai probabil. Posibil.
the real reason behind the Skipidi toilets. But it gets even crazier
Exact, și acum ăștia sunt toaletele Skipidi, practic. Și sunt nebune.
than that because it looks like Dafuk has been planning this all along and has been
Da, uite, e creatorul care planifică ceva.
thinking of every small freaking detail, because if you look to the right of the secret agent, the baldy scientist we see can actually be seen in episode
Oh my god, dar pe bune, uite, fix în dreapta e ăla, uite, vedeți omul achelos e scientistul. Oh my god. Deci, într-adevăr, toaletele Skipidi au fost oameni odată. Dar nu înțeleg cum s-au transformat ei în toalete. Asta e ciudat. Nu știu.
episode 16 as a normal
Asta
toilet
putem
who was
vedea în episodul 16, uitați-l acolo.
working the scientist toilet, who also can be seen again in episode 68.
Toiletul care a fost văzut din nou în episodul 68.
Part 2, and is the upgraded toilet who killed
Oh
our
my
beloved
god,
large
dar pe bune, Brooke, trebuie să fii extrem de atent ca să vezi detaliile astea. Mamă, deci asta a fost văzut atunci și a apărut acum în episodul acesta, așa e șop, parcă a zis că e ăsta. Mamă, deci nu pot să cred.
cameraman. I'm going to be honest, the dedication to details in this series is crazy. Alongside this, I think the scientist on the farthest left was also in episode 16 as a toilet. But I'm not sure if it's the same person. But the main thing we have to talk about in this image is the two gentlemen in the middle. We all know who the secret agent is, but the man he is shaking hands with is actually one of the models Dafuk likes
Și un agent secret dă mâna cu creatorul.
using a lot, and it's the male 09 model. For a while now, people have been guessing that male 09 will eventually have some sort of a role in the series. And I guess they were right,
Rol în cea serie, abar nu
because
am.
I don't think his journey would end here. I think this foreshadows the fact that he'll actually become a prominent part of the series and might be the nemesis for the secret agent, because we got a couple
Nemesis dintr-un agent secret din cauza cu
possibilities. First of all, let's think of the reason why this lab got a new administrator in the first place. We don't know the real intentions of the secret
Mamă, deci chiar foarte tare tot ce se întâmplă.
agent, but it really doesn't seem like he is on the side of toilets, so the fact that he was a part of this experiment might mean that he came in too late. Maybe the government was aware that these scientists were cooking up something shady and assigned him to take control, but it was too late.
Și că au fost luate de site-ul ăsta ca să preia controlul, nu știu cum.
And now he is trying to stop this whole mess. You also need to think about the fact that someone must have created the cameraman, speakerman, and TV man races, if Skibidi toilets were the result of an experiment. The same goes for the
Deci toate astea, Titan TV Man, Titan Cameraman, Titan Speaker și toate Skibidi reprezintă un rezultat unui experiment. Oh my god,
rest.
mamă.
Maybe secret agent, or if the roles were reversed,
Poate agentul secret ori are un rol inversat M09.
male 9 created them. We probably won't get the answer to this for a while, but this
Este probabil un răspuns.
really is a cornerstone for the series. But there is one thing that's shady. There is no scientist toilet in this image, which is weird considering he is
Deci site-ul este, putem vedea în imagine.
the scientist toilet. Also, this image explains why and how the secret agent is able to create.
Deci imaginea explică de ce cum agentul secret i-a creat.
create all these tech devices that give him powers. It looks like he actually was a genius, and the reason he knows the bunker
Era unui geniu că a avut device-ul ăla, că el a creat această puterea unui geniu. E de bunker.
and out is his past. But there is still one question remaining, and it is why he
Rămâne o întrebare. Și de ce
wanted to get in, because in episode 68, part 2, we saw him teleport inside for something when the squad was looking inside the factory, and he gave a mission to the lucky cameraman. Right after looking at the image, Plunger Cameraman turns to the lucky cameraman, and he is actually holding a
s-a întors către cameramanul norocos
book that has an image of a TV, and looking at Lucky
cu imaginea TV în televizor.
The cameraman's reaction. This book may not have been stolen, but given to the toilets because Lucky Cameraman really looked disappointed. I don't know what's inside the book, but it surely does look very, very old and might have some secrets inside.
Cărțile astea sunt foarte vechi, care conțin secrete în interiorul lor.
We probably will never get to see, at least in the near future. But there is also the chance that these were stolen. Either way, this room is full of mess-ups that the Alliance has made, and they can clearly see the reflection of their mistakes in the past. And what happens right after does not help them at all, because suddenly the lucky cameraman gets pierced through the back, just like that.
Dar e prins cu gheara aia și aruncat când... Bă, de atâta timp cât a supraviețuit Lucky Cameraman, acum n-a mai putut săracul.
And we see the return of the mouthless claw toilet from episode 4.
Claw toilet from episode 42. Bro, gata, mama, acum mi-amintesc și eu de el. Gata, mi-amintesc și eu de el.
42, and it seems like he was hella upgraded because he not just his claws got upgraded, but now he has a whole TV monitor attached to him, which means the TV we saw on Scientist Toilet wasn't a one-time thing, and it's something they can probably mass-produce. The second one of the cameraman realizes his presence, he starts using the stun gun on him, and it seems like it's working, but a stun gun doesn't work on a TV, so the upgraded claw toilet uses his TV monitor, and we start seeing the death beam once again. And it looks like Defuk actually made some new VFX for this, and shows us why the cameraman actually kill themselves when this beam is shown. It actually spams the words "end yourself" backwards infinitely, until the person seeing it unalives themselves, which is crazy. And this scene was utterly terrifying. The fact that if Dark Speakerman wasn't there, Plunger Cameraman would have been killed is insane. But thankfully, Bro saves his best friend by pushing him, and Plunger Cameraman puts the lens protector he got from the large cameraman instantly to not be affected by the beam anymore. But sadly, while this is going on, the cameraman with the stun gun kills himself, and this leaves the upgraded claw toilet free, and he starts attacking the Dark Speaker Man. Thankfully, Plunger Cameraman throws his plunger in time and uses the dart gun he got earlier to shoot the claw toilet's eyes before smashing his head with the spiky plunger. Here, if you look carefully at the Dark Speaker Man, we can actually see that his headphones are now broken, but the saddest scene in today's episode appear right after this, and it's the death of Lucky Cameraman. We see that he is lying dead on the floor, at least we think he is dead. Alongside this, his tablet is broken and has a message on it, but it's impossible to read. Plunger Cameraman instantly takes the remote control, but I'm going to be honest, I think there is a chance that the secret agent teleports and saves the lucky cameraman.
Agenții care se teleportează și să salveze pe cameramanul norocos.
Because at the end of the day, he is still the lucky cameraman.
Adică l-a lăsat aici, au plecat doar ăștia doi.
And was the only cameraman that had direct contact with the secret agent as far as we know until now. Even if this does happen, I don't think we'll see it for a long, long time. And if it does, once we do see it, the lucky cameraman probably would evolve into something completely new. After Plunger Cameraman looks at the body of the lucky cameraman, he hears the Dark Speaker Man breaking one of the cages to get a spear and decides to get some tools for himself as well. And it's the new cameraman tools. But the question is, How do the toilets have this already?
Unde sparge astea, ia căștile, ia și jetpack-ul, ia
These
toate
upgrades were
uneltele
just
pe
given
aici.
out to Cameraman probably a couple hours ago. This may seem small, but this might entail that there actually is a traitor in the Alliance who is giving info to the toilets. We'll talk more about this in a later episode, but after this scene, we basically see the duo get ready to fight and start
Da,
moving.
și acum ăștia doi, chiar dacă cameramanul e suprapat, bă, acum n-ar trebui să mai fie, că practic ea salva viața.
Through the hallway, and the episode
Uite,
ends. I think we can
o să
safely
se
assume that the next
ușa.
episode there will see some blood and see the fight with the scientist toilet. This episode was
S-ar putea
honestly
ca
a
în
treat for
episodul
us
ăsta să
analysis
vedem lupta cu
YouTubers.
scientistul.
Also, before I end the video,
Bă,
make
nu
sure to
știu,
check my
sincer,
Skipidi
ar fi tare.
Toilet Roblox game out if you
Uite,
haven't.
Toy Simulator
It was
ăsta
released
care
last
l-am
week, and
încercat
the
și
first
noi pe
update will
canal,
be
care a
releasing
fost
tomorrow if
super
you have been.
tare. Și da, ăsta a fost chiar foarte wow. Deci chiar nu mă așteptam, am aflat povestea toaletelor Skipidi. Deci într-adevăr toaletele Skipidi și ăștia, cameramanii și tot ăștia, toți au fost experimente practic. Wow, chiar nu mă așa, voi v-ați fi așteptat la asta? Wow, chiar sunt curios ce se întâmple în următorul episod. Așa că cam asta a fost episodul. Eu am fost Vai peste. Sper că ați apăsat și voi pe butonașul de like și noi ne vom vedea data viitoare. Pa, pa!